And today, with the special equipment, you can have the image of the sun on a tabletop, and we see that the sun has got black spots. And it takes approximately 25 days for these black spots to complete one rotation, indicating that the sun takes about 25 days to complete one rotation. And today, if you go to school, you will find that this thing has been incorporated in the school textbooks. That the sun is not stationary, it rotates about its own axis. So what you came to know 30 years back, 40 years back, is mentioned in the Quran 1400 years ago. Who could have mentioned this in the Quran? That the sun rotates about its own axis? And the atheist will be silent. Don't wait for his answer. You continue. Today science tells us that the sunlight we have is due to a chemical reaction taking place. And this is taking place in billions of years. And one day, this chemical reaction will stop. And the sun will cease to exist, and so will life on the face of the earth. But the scientists say this will take another couple of billion years. This is what the scientists discovered a couple of hundred years before. Quran mentioned 1400 years ago in Surah Yasin, chapter number 36, verse number 38. وَالشَّمْسَ تَجْرِي لِمُسْتَقَرٍ لَهَا. That the sun is running its course for a period determined, for a term determined, to a place determined. Today science tells us that one day the sun will extinguish and it will stop. That means it is there for a particular period. Science also tells us that the sun, along with the solar system, it is moving to a point in the universe which is called as Herculean, called as Alpha Lyra, at the speed of 12 miles per second to a point which is called as solar apex. So the Quran says the sun is there for a period determined and moving to a point determined. And today science tells the same thing. What science tells us today, Quran has mentioned 1400 years ago. Who could have mentioned this in the Quran? The atheist will be silent. Don't wait for his reply. You can continue. Today science tells us that the atmosphere that we have above the earth, it prevents the harmful radiation from entering into the earth. If this atmosphere, the sky, wouldn't have been there, the ultraviolet rays and the X-rays would have entered, and life would not be sustainable on the face of the earth. It is due to this atmospheric layer, the sky, which gives sustenance to life. Quran says in Surah Anbiya, chapter number 21, verse number 32, that it is He who has created the sky as a protected ceiling, as a protected canopy. Quran says that the sky, the atmosphere, is a protected ceiling, which science has discovered recently. 50 years back, 100 years back. Quran mentioned this 1400 years ago. I would like to ask you that how many states of matter are there? How many states of matter are there? We learned in school. How many states of matter are there? How many? 3. Solid, liquid, gas, correct? Right or wrong? How many states of matter are there? Many people are saying 3. I can hear one voice saying 4. When I was in school, I had learned there are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. And the scientists, they said that the space outside the organized astronomical systems, they are vacuum. But recently, there's a few decades earlier, scientists have discovered that there are bridges of matter outside the organized astronomical systems, which they call as plasma. This science today says is the 4th state of matter. Quran mentions in Surah Furqan, chapter number 25, verse number 59, It is He who has created the heavens and the earth and has created even things in between them. So the Quran says there is not only vacuum between the heavens and the earth, there is something in between, which today science calls it as the fourth state of matter, that is plasma. What science has discovered a few decades earlier, Quran mentions 1400 years ago. Who could have mentioned this in the Quran? The same message about the fourth state of matter is also mentioned in Surah Luqman, chapter 31, verse number 29. In Surah Zumur, chapter number 39, verse number 5. There's a famous scientist by the name of Edwin Hubble, and he said, and he discovered, which was one of the greatest discovery of the last century. He said that our universe is expanding, it is receding. Quran mentions in Surah Dariyat, chapter 51, verse 47. It is He who has created the vastness of space, the expanding universe. The Arabic word is mu'siyuna. So the Quran says that the universe is expanding, which the scientists have discovered recently. Who could have mentioned this in the Quran 14 years ago? And the atheists would be silent. There may be certain skeptics who will say, it is nothing great that the Quran speaks about astronomy because the Arabs were advanced in the field of astronomy. I do agree with these skeptics that the Arabs were advanced in the field of astronomy. But it was after the Quran was revealed that the Arabs became advanced in the field of astronomy and not the vice versa. That's the reason it is from the Quran that the Arabs learned about astronomy and not the vice versa. After the Quran was revealed, when the Arabs read the Quran, they got advanced in the field of astronomy. Let's discuss physics. There's a very famous theory known as atomism, which was first propounded 23 centuries ago by the Greeks, known as Democrats. And they believed that the smallest part of matter is the atom, which cannot be divided. And this was even known to the Arabs. And in Arabic, the atom was called as zarra, a theory of atomism. But today, and the Quran also speaks about zarra, Quran also says it's the smallest part. But today, after science has advanced, we have come to know that though atom is the smallest part of matter, having the characteristics of the element, it too can be divided. So people will think, now the Quran is outdated. The Quran speaks about zarra, but if you read in context, the Quran says in two places, in Surah Sabah, chapter 34, verse number 3, as well as in Surah Yunus, chapter number 10, verse number 61, that when the unbelievers say that the hour, the day of judgment will not come, tell them, it will surely come with the permission of thy Lord, in whose record is clear the minutest detail of an atom, and in whose record is propitious things smaller and greater than the atom. So the Quran says that it is mentioned in detail, the smallest detail of atom in the record, and even things the smaller and greater than the atom is in the record mentioned clear. So the Quran is not outdated, it is up to date. The Quran says that in the record is mentioned things smaller and greater than the atom. Imagine this was mentioned in the Quran 1400 years ago. In the field of hydrology, the water cycle that we learn in school. We learn in school that the water evaporates from the ocean, it moves upwards, forms into clouds, moves into the interior, it falls down that rain, and the water cycle is completed. It was first discovered by Sir Bernard Palissy in the year 1580. Sir Bernard Palissy was the first person who described the present water cycle which we learn in school. Previously, in 7th century BC,